Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to the virtual press conference. This is a special one because it's between two special upcoming meteorically rising prospects. That's the kind of words I'm going to be using for these two guys who have been putting in work in the Lions Den for a few years now. These are two guys I'm extremely proud to have promoted in the past. And it looks like, we're going to have to put this buddy stuff aside. I know you guys have met each other before, but we're going to have to figure it out on November 18th at Fighters Rep 20. And not just that, it's going to be for the Fighters Rep light middleweight belt. On top of me, you got Milshon Lathan. He's going to be taking on Michael Sugar Bomb Claycomb on top of Gary Martin's very large cranium. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today? Milshon, let's start with you. How are you doing today, man?
Good, man. Happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Good, man. Living, respirating.
Yeah, man. And listen, it's an opportunity you've earned. And Michael, I'm going to ask you the same thing, man. How have you been? How's everything going with you?
Everything's great. This is my first week into training camp again, so I'm feeling good. I feel locked in. I feel motivated. So
Awesome.
I'm
I like
feeling
to
good.
hear.
Feeling good.
Michael, if you can raise your camera up just a little bit, the top of your head's getting cut off.
There we go.
Excellent. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So let me start with you, Milshon. It's been a minute since we've seen you in the Lions Den, but every time we see you in the Lions Den, man, you bring the action. You bring the action every time. You've improved every single time. But it's been a while. You've had a bit of a layoff, and you're coming back into the Lions Den, and you're throwing yourself right into the deep end against Michael Claycomb, who's coming off winning a title in Muay Thai himself, who's had a couple fights since you last saw him. But you had no hesitation taking this fight. Tell me what's going on through your mind, how the recovery has been. I know you've had a surgery. What's going on in the world of Milshon?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for asking. The recovery is going well. Feeling strong, feeling ready. It's been a long road back. Had to put in a lot of work to get back to back in front of you guys on November 18th, and but just grateful. It taught me to be grateful for be able to be active and be able to move and be just primal and be fight and I'm just blessed to be here and with a new perspective and yeah, no hesitation, man. That's what we do over at the club, man. It's never hesitate. It's always fight. That's what we do. We're fighters, so you know
Yeah.
especially an opportunity like this against a great opponent for the belt.
Likewise.
How could you say no? So excited to get back out there and show this new version.
I love it. I love it. And is there and Gary, the floor is open to you as well. If there's anything you want to ask, I don't want to take up all the air in here. I don't, Gary. I
Go
listen.
ahead, man.
Listen,
I'ma
I
get
had
my
Gary. Listen, I
I'ma
had
get
You
my
didn't ask
Gary.
how
view.
Gary's day was. You didn't ask how Gary's day was.
I had Gary.
Hey,
I talked to him enough, and as a matter of fact, Gary has watched all your fights. He's got a lot
Thank you,
of
Gary.
questions. He's got a lot of opinions. He's very appreciative of what you guys do as well. He's a huge fight fan, so I'm sure he'll have some. But let me go over to you as well, Michael. Last time you were in the Lions Den, it was you came up a little bit short. Before that, it was a spectacular knockout. You've had some ups, you've had some downs, but mostly it's been ups for you. You got brought on to karate combat. You got brought on to karate combat pursuant to your performances in the Lions Den. Put up a great fight. Then you got offered a title fight in Muay Thai. You won a title fight in Muay Thai, so you've already got some gold now. This is your second opportunity at some gold. In the promotion that kind of, I want to say, spawned the Sugar Bomb. How does it feel to be back and to be taking on a guy like Milshon for a title at Fighters Rep?
Man, well, I mean, there's a lot of emotions to it, of course. But first thing I want to say is this opportunity is, it's amazing. Not only is it at FightersRep, which I feel is the best kickboxing promotion out there, but it's also against a very formidable opponent in Milshon, coming out of a great, Huntington Beach fight club. So, it's just all around. It's great. It's another chance at redemption for me, especially, coming back off that title loss, which, there's a lot of things going on during that, but I'm not here to make excuses. I lost the fight, and I feel like this is my chance at redemption. So, and I know Milshon's going to make me work for it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, go ahead, Gary.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. What it looks
No,
like Milshon. We might have lost
yeah,
Milshon for a
Milshon. I
second.
think we
Oh,
lost Milshon. That's a question for both of them. Same question for both of you guys. You there,
Milshon, you
Milshon?
there? Can you hear us? There he is.
there it is.
Let's see if we can get him
Yeah,
back
yeah. I
here.
know what's going on. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, he can
Okay.
hear.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's a little too friendly for me right now. I want both of you guys prediction of how the fight gonna go. I want you to go first, Milshon. How the fight gonna go? Don't be friendly. Say how you really
Well, I
want it.
mean, look. I mean, well, look. At the end of the day, only one that belt can only go on one waist. So,
So
I
you
gotta
saying it's
step
going on yours?
I have to step on him. That goes without saying.
Okay.
I have to step on him. But I've been seeing him. He's a great fighter. But yeah, that's just I'm gonna stand on business. On November 18th. That's not even a question. But yeah, I respect the sugar bomb, and yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that he's got a chin and I have hands, and
Oh yeah, they gonna land?
of course. Thank you for
Well,
finishing
Michael,
the
what you
bar.
say to
Thank you for
that?
finishing the bar.
And all I'm gonna say is this. All right, I watched Milshon's fight. I know Milshon's watched my fights. All I'm gonna say is he's never had a finish in the Lions Den.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna say.
man.
It sounds like I'm due. Sounds like I'm due for one. I don't know.
Nah.
That's what I like. There we go. There we go. I'm a troublemaker. Just know that.
It's good.
Gary Martin stirring the pot. Stirring the pot.
I like it. I like competitive because we all have to be friends. But when that competition, it hits you. You want to go out there and get it done.
Yeah. And Gary, these are two guys that they don't like to lose, man. These are two really competitive guys. I'll say this, right, and I'm really glad you brought that up. I remember after Milshon's last fight with us, where he thought it was a draw because they incorrectly read it a draw. He was at ringside. I sit ringside while the fights are happening. Him and his teammate Ian Holloway come over to me and start apologizing. I'm like, bro, what are you apologizing? He was so upset that he may have lost that or drew in that fight. And it just shows you his competitive spirit. And of course, Michael the same way. Michael, he's lost a couple times in the Lions Den. He's gone back. He's hit the drawing board. He's come back a better fighter. And it goes to these guys' spirit of competition. So I'm glad you brought that one up. Mills,
Michael,
I'm sure you remember that. I'm sure you remember that.
It felt like a loss in my eyes. So
yeah.
I'm ready to right that ship. I still got that bad taste in my mouth, so I'm ready to
Yeah.
I'm ready to get it cracking.
So Michael, let me ask you something. So the last fight you did in the Lions Den, you lost. I mean, I don't know how you feel about the stoppage or anything. I don't know how you feel about the stoppage. Maybe you can let us know. But what did you kind of learn from that experience, and what do you feel like you got better at after that fight that you said, okay, this where I missed that?
Oh man, there's so many things I can say. I would say the biggest thing that I learned from me, especially coming on after the knockout that I had, I would say my head was really inflated. So getting my ego checked, of course, is not the way that I want it to happen. But I'm really, like, in hindsight, I'm really glad it happened because I learned a lot from that. And so coming off of off of that loss, it gave me a lot of motivation to just get better, and it helped me check myself in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I know what it's like to be at the top and to be at the bottom, and I feel like you need both to really be a champion. So I'm glad I got those experiences early.
And Milshon, let me ask you, because I watched some of your fights in the Lions Den, and I don't know about the other fights, but watching the fights that I did watch, it was smaller guys. You know, this time you're getting a guy that's almost your height. Do you think that's gonna be more difficult, or are you pretty much ready for that?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for that. I've fought guys who are my height. All the guys I train with are my height, outside of Ian. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be. It's a good experience. You know, I'm you know, I like that. We can go toe to toe better. So yeah, I'm with whatever, man. You know, it doesn't matter. You can be a midget or you can be Yao Ming. You know, these hands.
He's with the shits, man. He's with whatever. He doesn't care. I love it. I love it.
Say yes. Say yes. Say my name 3 times and I will appear.
Oh, bloody Milshon Lathan. I love it. I love it. Here's another interesting thing I wanted to bring up about the both of you guys. You know, you both, after not you, Michael. You've had a couple fights since then, but you know, after that loss in the Lions Den, you had to had a pretty serious medical procedure on your eyes. I felt like that was definitely something that was holding you back quite significantly from what your father told me and what was explained to me. And Mills, you know, you're also coming off a pretty debilitating injury, and I'm sure has had to have some medical intervention as well. You know, how has that? You know, how did that downtime kind of work for you mentally, physically, as a fighter, spiritually? You know, how'd that make you feel? I'll start with you, Mills.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing you want most is taken away from you, you know, especially when you're riding, you know, a high. And, you know, for me, I was sitting in bed, you know, pretty much 2 months bed rest, you know, just looking up at the ceiling like, man, like, will I ever be right again? Like, that's the, you know, going in that kind of like, you know, dark place, you know, and just not being able to like, you know, get up by myself and like, you know, just do simple things that like an athlete and, you know, should be able to like, you know, to be able to do. Yeah, it was really, it was tough for sure. But it made me more hungry. It made me more, you know, grateful to be back. You know, like every workout I do is, you know, I just think about those times and that time I couldn't move, and those times I was like, man, when I can get back, I swear, like I'm gonna go crazy. So yeah, that's I keep that in mind every day. So it's motivating.
Yeah. You don't, you know, you don't realize how important something is until you lose it. It sounds like.
Exactly.
And Michael, for you, you know, I mean, you were essentially, you know, fighting in a world of blur. is my understanding.
Basically.
You know, how does it feel to have, you know, vision, which I think is pretty important for your style, which is, you know, the kind of the karate style where you got to judge distance constantly.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you know, distance management is a huge part of my game. So not being able to see definitely played a big part. But I mean, I also got a perfect liver shot being blurry. So
Pat yourself on the back. Hey, look. Tell a guy, I was blind and I beat you.
And now I'm 4K like everyone else.
I don't know about 4K.
I was running on 180p
I might be 720p. I don't know about 4K anymore.
Hey, trust me, I know how that go. Hey, I played football and I needed glasses. I couldn't see the ball. When the lights is in there, nah.
Here's something. And by the way, before we continue, subscribe. You're only going to get this content here at FightersRep. Like, comment on this video, share it with your friends. Any questions or comments you guys have for these two amazing fighters, drop it in the live chat or subsequently in the comments once this video drops. And again, as usual, if you want to drop a super chat, anybody's name you mentioned in that super chat, we're splitting the profit in half with them, whether it's during this live stream or afterwards as a super thanks. So if you want to donate to these fighters, definitely do that. Subscribe to the channel, join the channel, and watch them fight. It's just $9.99 a month, and pick up your tickets to Fighters Rep 20 on November 18th. Now, what I really wanted to talk to you guys, and I've been talking to Gary about this quite a bit, and we're excited about it, because I'm not just a promoter. I'm a big time fight fan, and I'm a fan of you guys, and it's this stylistic matchup. This stylistic matchup is just crazy. I feel like we've got two fast twitch, athletic, guys who know how to fight from a distance, good boxing, good kicks. It's just an amazing stylistic matchup. Guys that don't really seem to get tired, that bring it every single time they fight. Milshon, I'm going to start with you, man. How do you feel like your style matches up against Michael Claycomb's style? Because I'm sure it's something you've thought about. It's a very unique style. We don't have a lot of karate Shotokan practitioners in the Lions. And, I'm sure it's something you've thought about and how your style, would play into that.
Yeah, no, for sure. When they asked me for this fight, that was the first thing that came to mind. I think his style is going to play well off mine because it's going to allow me to open up a lot more. His karate base is going to allow me to just be just as bouncy, as he is. And I think I'm the best athlete in this whole organization. So when I get a fight like this and I'm like, oh, I get to use my speed and agility and footwork, I'm ready. So definitely this is a matchup I'm excited about. And I think my style is going to go perfect with this, man. In your face, but also fast and athletic and rangy. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this matchup for sure.
I just to piggyback off the question George just asked, because I heard you talk about he's really bouncy. Michael moves a lot. Are you ready for that? Do you have the endurance for that? No, you say you're athletic, 100%. But are you ready to be moving?
Take him to the deep end, baby.
100%.
Go ahead,
swimming with the sharks on November 18th.
That's great. No, 100%. I'm ready to be moving, ready to be on my toes. So excited. I've been getting back to my wide receiver days. So yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good.
Yeah.
Gotta wide receive these hands.
That's kind of, I don't know. Might want to pause that, brother.
I like that.
I'm Tom Brady with it, baby.
Oh, yeah, listen to Claycomb. So, Michael, I'm going to ask you the same thing. That's very clever. That's funny. But I'm going to ask you the same thing. Milshon is, like he says, really good athlete, one of the better athletes I think we see in the Lions Den. Very, very good movement. He's got strong boxing. He's good at avoiding punches, managing distance, good, strong low kicks, knees. People are really fans of his knees on our social media. Tell me, how you think you're going to be, able to deal with Milshon's style, basically, coming up on November 18th. And before you answer that, Milshon, are you there? Because it looks like your picture froze up here.
I thought he was death staring me.
Me too.
I was like, damn.
I thought it was pretty talk about that Tom Brady.
Mills, you there?
I think. Oh no.
Yeah, he might have froze up.
Yeah.
I'm fine waiting. I'm good.
Let's give him a second. Let's reach out to him.
Well, I mean, while we're waiting on him, how'd you get the name Sugar Bum? Who gave you that? Sugar Bum.
So the origin story, this goes back to my strength and conditioning coach named Matthias Narducci. He was trying to come up with something that is, familiar with Claycomb. And I told him, one of my friends used to call me Honeycomb because Claycomb, Honeycomb is kind of, funny. And he was like, oh, maybe we can roll with that. And, you're a nice guy, but you throw bombs. So maybe Honey Bomb. And I was like, dude, that sounds so bad. And he was like, okay, what? He was like, what's he was like, what's sweet? He was like, what's sweet? He was like, sugar. And in the beginning, I hated it, man. I thought it was the stupidest name. And then the commentator, David Huey, and the other commentator at the time, they were like, "Oh yeah, this guy has to go Sugar Bomb," and then everyone just loved Sugar Bomb, and I was like, "All right, well, I just gotta embrace it," and that's basically how it came.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens like that. Sometimes it's not you giving the nickname; somebody else gives you the nickname.
I mean, it's better for it to be that way, right?
Yeah. You call yourself something and you don't live up to it, then people on the outside kind of can see what you are. Like, you know what, you throw it.
So as we're trying to get Sugar Bomb back again, or not Sugar Bomb, but Milshon back again, guys. Remember, FightersRep number 20. I can't believe it, guys. We're already at number 20. It goes down November 18th, and let's try to fix these Hollywood squares one more time. There we are. And you can get your tickets at FightersRep.com. So, Mills, we were basically asking Michael the same question, how he feels his style matches up against yours. We're going to go ahead and let him answer that question.
I mean, first of all, I want to give credit where credit's due. Milshon, like you said, he's a great athlete, very fast, agile, has quick hands, can go the distance. I think he's a very good matchup. I think it's going to be a chess match, I think. I don't think it's going to be the type where it's going to be a brawl or like a, messy fight. I don't know. But I think it's going to be a chess match for sure. And my whole thing is about distance management and timing and intercepting. So it doesn't matter if you're short, tall, fast, you fight far, you fight close. I like to manage my distance against everyone and anyone. Doesn't matter the style. So same game plan as for all my other fighters, maybe with some things that are specific to, Milshon, just like every other fighter. But yeah, it's going to be a chess match for sure. It's going to be based on who can hit first, who can establish first, who can get the other person on the back foot better, I think. So
yeah. And have you been studying Milshon on film? Are you
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
literally the other night I was up till like 6 a.m. just watching his fights.
Wow.
I only got fucking 3 of them. I only got 3 of them on YouTube. Like, damn.
Those things have been on replay.
So let me ask you. So do you see any weaknesses? Is that something you want to share with us? What is it you're looking to exploit? And then when you're done, I'm going to ask Milshon the same question. Do you guys see any weaknesses in each other that you think you could take advantage of?
I mean, of course, I see weaknesses just as he probably sees weaknesses too. Obviously, I'm not going to just tell him like, hey, bro, these are your weaknesses. He's not going to do the same. But I do plan on showing those weaknesses, pointing them out to the fans on November 18th. And I'm pretty sure he has the same game plan.
Okay. And Mills, I mean, maybe not the best question. You don't need to give away your game plan, obviously. But, I was wondering if there's something that you see in Michael that you feel like he's not going to be able to deal with.
Yeah, no, honestly, you kind of touched on it. It's not going to be like messy. I feel like sometimes I can kind of get too excited and too willing to be in the fire. So I think he's going to force me to fight a little more clean. So I think that'll be good for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was Michael. You're talking about distance, that you don't care the distance and things of that nature. Because that was one of the things I was thinking about, because I'm not sure, does Milshon have longer arms than you? Because Milshon looks like he has like the Dowsam arms.
Hit you from halfway.
I don't know if you caught the Street Fighter reference, but
oh yeah, I'm a big Ryuken. I love
yeah, but he has long arms. So I noticed in your fights you like to keep distance, and you like to keep distance and jump in and jump out. I didn't know if you looked at that, because he has long legs too, and so you feel like that doesn't matter. You can still stay in your same style and stay from the outside.
Right. That's a great question. I don't know if you watched my last title fight that I just won. Very similar build. The guy was taller than me. Uh, he also had longer legs, longer arms, and I was able to keep my distance, move around the way I'd always do, stay fresh. I
Okay.
took it all the way to the fifth and finished him, so I can go to the deep end if I have to. You know, so it's gonna be nice.
I wanted to go ahead and bring up what I think is, I mean, I think both of you guys are very well-rounded fighters, but I think you both have strengths that really stand out. And I wanted to kind of mention the strength of your opponent to each of you. You guys could tell me what you think about it, and how you plan on dealing with it, right? So for me, Milshon, I'll start with you. I feel like Michael, obviously his ability to judge distance is great, but his kicks, I feel like his kicks with that karate background, very accurate, very sharp, very deadly, as we saw when he landed that spinning liver kick to Albert Tadeo. I mean, that's not something we've seen too much in the Lions, and a spinning back kick like that. How do you think you're going to be able to deal with that sort of kick heavy attack if it comes your way?
That's exciting part about it. A lot of kicks. I get caught up in my boxing a lot, so he's gonna remind me to use my kicks. But like I said, I'm the best athlete you guys have at Fighters Rep. So I think when he gets bouncy, I'm just gonna be more bouncy and more athletic and more agile and be able to, kind of, win that chess match that we're gonna have in there. And I think I'm just gonna be able to be quicker to everything that he does, and have an answer to everything that he brings out there. So I'm excited.
Well, you're not lacking for confidence, that's for sure.
I like it. You know me, George. I like a confident person. I like a. Hey, I love that. But let me ask you something. Obviously, we don't want to, tell each other weaknesses and things of that nature. But what do you think is each other's strength? What do you see as his strength, and what do you see as his strength?
Oh, I mean, his strength is the kicking game, for sure. Being able to be bouncy and win that footwork, that kind of front foot battle. Being able to kind of work in those quarter angles, that quick, that shift, that just be able to play outside of that 50-50 position.
Yeah.
That's definitely a strength of his, and that's where I want to fight. Like that's where I want to. Yeah, that's like I want to have that fencing battle. So like I hope he brings his best, because I'm coming.
What about you, Michael?
I love that.
I think for sure his best strength, I would say, would be his speed. As well as his inside boxing. So I think that's going to be probably the hardest thing that I'm going to have to deal with out of all his attributes, that I would say. Yeah, I mean, game plan is, pick them apart, expose weaknesses, create setups, create traps, and look for the finish. I'm not trying to win by decision.
Okay.
Maybe Milshon is. I don't know.
Yeah, no, this definitely isn't. I can tell you
Okay.
right now, this definitely is not going to the judges. There's not going to
Okay.
the
Okay.
But if I win, it's not going to the judges. I don't know about you, man.
like you said, I haven't had one yet. Like you said, I'm due, man. I'm telling you, I'm due.
And by the way, shout out, Clarence Watson, Hattie Sukkar, Jason Granado, Aziza Othman, all these people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining the chat. Anything you guys want to say? Hattie Sukkar is, saying Mills is too accurate. He's a dog. It's going to be a banger. Jason Granado says this is a great scrap. Clarence Watson is cheering on Sugar Bomb. So we got a lot of fans of both of you guys in here.
CJ.
And it's interesting
good,
to
Hattie?
me, Michael, that you brought up Milshon's inside boxing, because I do think, and me and Gary were talking about this, Milshon's boxing is definitely a strength of his. I definitely think that's something you're going to have to deal with come November 18th.
For sure.
Milshon's boxing is just clean. He's got a nice 1-2. How are we going to deal with that problem? How are we going to deal with that problem?
Well, I mean, as you guys see in my fights, I don't like to fight on the, or it's not that I don't like to fight on the inside. It's just I don't. I'm better at fighting on the outside. So staying on the outside, being able to establish myself on the outside is going to be, trying to do that. And if it gets on the inside, then I'll make it dirty as I always try to.
I think Milshon froze, making an old
He
man
froze
face.
with the perfect face, though. He froze with the perfect face right there. That's like, oh,
Yeah,
you don't like
put that
fighting
on a thumbnail.
That's gonna be trouble for you, buddy.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
That's gonna be
goodness.
trouble for you.
Let's see if we could get him back.
But that's funny because I was telling George, I was like, I had seen that you like fighting outside, not too much in the inside. Like, not necessarily that it's a flaw of yours, because maybe you can do it, maybe you don't, maybe you just choose not to, because different people have different styles. Some people choose to go stand toe to toe and everything, and but I had seen that watching your fights. I'm like, okay, yeah. I said it's almost like karate point style or something like that. Yeah. So I was like, but I mean, is it weird for you? Because you did Muay Thai, you did karate, and you're doing kickboxing. You jump back and forth between all of them. How do you I would get confused of which fight I'm in.
I mean, that's a good question. Well, I mean, of course, I always done karate, and it's all about, for me, trying to make the karate work within the specific rule set, whether it's kickboxing or whether it's Muay Thai or whether it's karate. Obviously, karate is easier but yeah, I mean, of course, as well, fighting on the inside. For me, before I was 4K, so to speak, I was farsighted. So being far away was already like just easier. I'll get it later. Sorry, Zena, it's my sister's headphones. But now that I can see clearly, I don't really have a problem on the inside. Now that I can actually see what's going on, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If it comes to that, then it's going to be a scrap. You're going to turn into a dog fight real quick.
Do you think it's going to be a scrap, or you think you're going to be able to stay away?
Well, I don't like to label it as staying away. I think it's just going to be a scrap from the outside.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a scrap from the outside. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a scrap just on the inside. Like, it's going to be a scrap either way, but just depending on the range, you know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to win on points. Remember, I'm not trying to win by decision.
Yeah.
Buddy over here.
Milshon, you there?
I think we lost him again, man. I think we lost him again.
Yeah. Now
there he is. There he is.
Oh, yeah,
there he is.
There he is. Everything good?
Milshon, can you hear us? Milshon, you can hear us? Milshon, can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear us.
Working.
He can't hear us. He's got to turn his mic on. Milshon, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go get that headphone real quick.
Go for it. And while you do that, and while we hopefully work on, or Milshon works on getting himself back in here again, I'm gonna ask that you guys that are here right now, be sure to subscribe. Again, any super chats, any super thanks that you guys drop, I'm going to split the profit with these fighters on those super chats and super thanks. And, of course, Fighters Rep 20, you're not going to want to miss it. November 18th, live from the Commerce Casino. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. We're always aiming to have something where between, 14 and 18 fights for you guys to enjoy. And it's bangers, it's bangers. It's stylistic matchups like this one that I think, are going to produce absolute fireworks. And, we think you guys will enjoy it. So get your tickets at FightersRep.com. You see, this is why I tell you guys to go sit in a studio or somewhere quiet with good reception. It's all good.
Hey man, I did my part.
I know.
Come on, Milshon.
But anyway, guys.
My phone is about to fucking explode.
Oh, man.
His phone's gonna explode, he says. Okay. So, in that case, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Milshon, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, great. So, before we let you guys go, I'll start with you. Any shout outs, anything you want to say, anything you want to get off your chest before you meet up with Michael Claycomb on November 18th?
Oh boy. Is it working?
Nah, man. Just shout out to you for giving me the opportunity to sit on live today. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to the HB Fight Club. We fighting for the club. Follow us on the gram at HB Fight Club. Yeah, I can't wait to get it cracking on November 18th. See you guys then.
For sure. And shout out to Johnny Mercurio and the HB Fight Club. And Michael, same to you, man. Wrapping this thing up. Anything you want to say? Anyone you want to thank?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, George. Thank you for this opportunity and everything that you do for me and Milshon and all the other FightersRep fighters. Thank you to Gary as well for being the host, helping host. I want to shout out, my dojo as well, CKA. I also want to shout out HB Fight Club. Thank you for giving me a good opponent as well. I got respect for everyone. Hope I can represent my dojo well. And yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
Likewise.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Milshon, you were saying something?
No, likewise, brother. Likewise. The fans don't blink on this one. This one's gonna be crazy. I can guarantee you.
Can't wait.
For sure. And one thing I wanted to add before I let you guys go, which is one of the reasons, besides both of you being athletic and tall and rangy, one of the reasons I think this fight's going to be absolutely crazy is I do think that you guys don't avoid the brawl if it happens. You guys will fall into a brawl if it happens. And both of you have a chin. I've seen both of you get hit with some big shots, and both of you have a chin. And so that's another thing that I think that makes this fight really interesting is both of you are durable, athletic, fast, and I feel like it's just going to be a matchup between two just absolutely great athletes. So I can't wait to watch this fight.
Hey, I know we're wrapping up. I thought about something because you mentioned you played wide receiver. I'm a football guy over here.
Yes, sir.
You think you're a better wide receiver than Michael over here?
My boy. My boy.
Maybe at receiving these kicks and hands, I don't know.
Are you going to send him back to football, Michael? You sending him back to football?
I'm about to send him back to the bench.
Oh man! All right, hey, man, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it. I'm just teasing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us for this virtual press conference for Milshon Lathan versus Michael Claycomb. They're going to be going at it on November 18th at FightersRep 20 for the FightersRep light middleweight title. It's going to be a fight that you're not going to want to miss, and it's going to be on a card that's going to be absolutely stacked to the brim. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. And very importantly, follow these two young men on social media. Show them some love. If you own a business, you want to sponsor some fighters, these are two excellent examples of fighters that you're going to want to sponsor and support because these two are rising stars. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Have a great night. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys on November 18th.
Thank you. Appreciate
you guys. Have a great one, guys.
Thank you guys.
All right, man.
Appreciate you guys.